If you have a bicycle and want to learn about some new places to explore with your wheels that you might not know about, Jeff Lenosky has a new video series that takes you to some of Southern Arizona's top trails. And Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You're taking time off of the trail to sort of educate us a little bit and talk about it, but you have accomplished some really seriously cool things. Tell us about it.
I've been riding for over 20 years, so my career started riding observed trials, which is basically taking your mountain bike and just trying to ride over rough terrain. You're not worried about how far you go or how fast you go. It's just trying to tackle natural obstacle courses, basically. And then over the past 20 years, I've gotten into racing and done different events where they're cross-country races for time and distance. I've done some enduro racing, which is primarily downhill racing. And it's just allowed me to try and do all different types of the sport. And since I've been doing it so long, I've tried just about anything you could do on a bike.
Wow, well, I'm sure you haven't. Has this sort of always been your passion and you sort of just jumped into it now?
Yeah, I grew up as a kid riding skateboards and BMX bikes, and I got really tall, so the bike that fit me the best was a mountain bike. So I bought a mountain bike and started doing tricks on that and turned it into a career.
Yeah, well, great career. And
Yeah.
We're lucky to have you here in Tucson. What brings you here specifically?
I'm here in Tucson for a grand reopening of Ben's Bikes. It's a shop that's been in Tucson since 2011, but it's a grand reopening so it's a giant retail partner store now, so it has a whole new shopping experience for customers. Same shop that's been here for years, just a whole new look. And then I'm also here to film for my Trail Boss video series, which I travel all over the country doing.
Well, I'm glad you came to Tucson. What trail did you pick specifically and why?
So I use this app called MTB Project, and it rates all the trails. So just like if you were skiing, you could find a green or a blue or a black or double black diamond trail. There's apps now that allow you to search for trails, and there's a trail called Milagrosa on Mount Lemmon.
Yeah.
And it's rated a double black diamond. So basically the point of my video series is to use the skills that I learned doing mountain bike trials, where you weren't concerned with how far or fast you went. Use those skills now to ride actual trails that people could go out and ride and hike, and basically try to conquer those trails that give people, especially locals, a really hard time. So that when they watch it, they go, wow, I didn't know you could possibly do that.
Yeah.
And show them how to make it through and, empower them to try it themselves.
And they'll think, if he could do that, well, I probably would hurt myself doing it. But you said that you've actually hurt yourself a couple times, but not necessarily related to this.
That's the thing. When you ride mountain bikes, you're usually so focused that you're paying attention to what you're doing. I usually tend to hurt myself when I'm doing something relatively simple. So I've ridden over 21 years. I've been pretty injury-free. I've had 3. One was doing jumps in the snow, which is something that you really shouldn't do to begin with. Another one was riding my bike down the flattest trail I could possibly find daydreaming, and I hit a tree and I broke my shoulder. And then one was setting up obstacles to ride my bike on, and I fell off of them on my feet.
Well,
so my best bet is to just stay on my bicycle.
Right. It's
Yeah.
an extreme sport. Things are going to happen. Not everybody's going to get hurt doing this, obviously. They can become a trail boss by watching your video series. And if someone, average person, wants to get into biking, what advice would you give them?
I would say to go to find a local retailer. You could buy all kinds of stuff online now, but you're not going to find the service that you find at a local bike shop. So if you're in Tucson, going to some place like Ben's Bikes where they have a knowledgeable staff and stuff like that, they're going to get you set up on the right bike. They're going to size it to you. They're going to give you advice on where to go. A lot of shops have rides now, so you can meet other friends to try it with. That's the best place to start, is just local, right in your community.
Definitely, because there's pros there that are passionate about it, and you're going to be doing some demonstrations there, and you brought your bike here today to show us some.
I did.
We're excited to see them. Go for it.
Yeah, so tomorrow at Ben's Bikes, I'll be doing a trials demo, and it's basically, like I said, mountain bike trials is all about riding over obstacles. We don't have any obstacles in the studio, but the first thing you need to do is to learn how to do the sport, is to balance in place. And then you just want to learn just general bike control, so that when you get up on these obstacles, you can stay up there. So just learning how to maneuver your bike, and then learning how to hop on one tire always comes in handy.
Whoa.
So tomorrow in the parking lot, we'll have a bunch of different stunts set up, and then you can try it on your front wheel.
Oh man, it's like another limb on your body. I don't know how you're using it.
It really
well.
is. Let's get turned around right there.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, most of the time I get injured, I'm not on my bike. So when I'm on my bicycle, that's my safest bet.
Well, thankfully you didn't fall over and crack your head on our monitor today, but that's
Right.
really impressive that you can balance that well. And we were noticing too, the bike has no gears, and that's what gives you the fine control.
That's for this bike. So this bike here, I'm not gonna ride very far on. So it's just a single speed with really good brakes. It's gonna allow me to climb over all different kinds of obstacles when I'm doing something like the Trail Boss video, that's a traditional mountain bike.
Excellent. Well, Jeff, incredible job. I mean, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Ben's Bikes. I definitely couldn't do that. So very impressive. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And guys, like we were saying, you can meet Jeff tomorrow at the grand opening celebration of Ben's Bikes with live demonstrations at 11 and 3. You can also catch his web series by searching for Trail Boss on YouTube. To learn more about Ben's Bikes, call 574-2453 or visit bensbikestucson.com.